Three women went to the bathroom. They stuffed the stolen money into their clothes. They were all bank employees. The money they stole was old banknotes that were going to be scrapped. This is where the old banknotes are destroyed. Every day, millions of old banknotes are sent here. Piles and piles of banknotes are just shredded. Looking at all these banknotes, the janitor is dumbfounded. It's his first day as a janitor. The manager told him. He was told by the manager that in addition to cleaning, he was also responsible for cleaning up the crumbs of the banknotes. That's a lot of money. The janitor was impressed because her husband had just lost his job. He was heavily in debt. He didn't know how to turn his life around. The security system here is quite strict. From sorting to transport to final shredding, every step of the process is monitored by cameras in real time. What's more, there are only 3 keys to open the cash van. In the sorting room, the finance room, and the shredding room, and the staff in each section are only allowed to work in their respective areas. Even their daily toilet breaks are strictly monitored. But the janitor believes, as long as some parts are monitored by people, there are bound to be loopholes, and there's definitely no safe system. One day, while shopping in a supermarket, inadvertently found a lock sold in the supermarket. It was the same model as the lock on the cash van. A daring plan, and that's how he got it in his head. Then every day when he was cleaning, he watched the cameras secretly. A month later, he finally found a dead spot at the lift entrance. He found a dead end. Just crouched down. The camera couldn't record the view from behind the cleaning van. He deliberately threw a banknote on the ground, then asked the colleague in front of him if he had dropped it. Who knew that not only did he say it was not his, he even took it and handed it in. It seems that this person is not a suitable partner at all. He had to find 2 like-minded partners. After work, he had his eye on Lily in the smash room. When he told her what he was planning to do, she didn't hesitate to say no, because Lily was a single mother. If something happened to her, the 2 children would be sent to an orphanage. The housekeeper could see right away. The baby was Lily's weakness. The next day, when Lily opened her locker, a few flyers for a prestigious school fell out of it. For the children, it was something that no mother could find a reason to refuse. Lily decided to go along with her to get the money. Then they set their sights on May, the money carrier. Xiao Mei has had diabetes since she was a child. The long-term cost of his medication has put a lot of pressure on his life. They didn't hesitate to join the team. The 3 of them just hit it off. They also developed a code word to touch their eyebrows. 3 women set to join forces to steal money from bank. The cleaning lady hid a lock she bought from the supermarket in her waistband, getting through security without a hitch. All set to go. At lunchtime, the housekeeper and Lily confirmed the operation with a code word. Little did they know that May was over there shaking her head. The 3 of them went to the bathroom. May said she had a bad feeling today. She wasn't going to do it today. Lily was so angry that she called it quits. But at the security check at the end of the day, the leader suddenly appeared. It turned out that, today, all the staff had to do a surprise search. The 3 women escaped the raid. The next day, the 3 women touched their eyebrows and sent out a code word. They planned to do it today. When the cleaning lady was cleaning up, changed the locks on the cash transfer van to locks they had bought. Then she gave the number of the van to her accomplice May. May is responsible for transporting the money here. He would wait for the lift. He would use the cash van to shield his body. Then he would use the key given to him by the cleaning lady to open the van. He would quickly take out a few piles of banknotes, throwing them into the bin behind him. And all this, the security guard in the surveillance room didn't notice. Although these were old notes that were about to be destroyed, but the amount was fixed. So, Lily, who was responsible for destroying the notes, also found the car and changed the locks back on the sly. As soon as the notes were thrown into the shredder, no one knows how much there is. In the meantime, the cleaning lady had already taken the stolen money, as if it were rubbish. After they've done it, the 3 men would meet in the bathroom, stuffing the stolen money into their clothes. The security check at the end of the day is not normally a search, so the 3 women made their first move. They managed to get hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the rest of the day, the 3 women used the same method. They got a lot of money, but it wasn't long before they ran into a problem. There was too much money to be made. Lily decided to stop, but the housekeeper and maid strongly disagreed, because the money wasn't enough for them to live in luxury. As time went on, it became clear that the 3 of them were not working perfectly together. One day when the housekeeper tried to throw the keys to Lily, she accidentally fell down the drain. The only spare key was at May's place. To avoid suspicion, the 3 of them, they didn't leave each other's phone numbers. The housekeeper called her husband. His husband in turn called Xiao Mei's husband to inform him. By the time Xiao Mei received the news, they had already sent the money carrier to the shredding room. On the other side, Lily was about to shred the car's banknotes. If his key doesn't open the van, the story would soon be exposed. None of the 3 men could escape. Three women joined forces to steal money from the bank, but this time there was an accident. Xiao Mei had a brainstorm, pretended to have a fight with someone, then she wrapped her keys in gum and threw them on the lift, and the cleaning lady downstairs pretended to clean up. He picked off the gum by hand. By the time he arrived at the shredding room with his rubbish cart, the security guard was helping Lily unlock the door, and when he saw the opportunity, he tossed the key to Lily, and that's how they got away with it. But to his surprise, the attentive security guard seemed to notice something unusual, but he didn't tell on the others, because he'd always had a crush on Lily. Now they were unscrupulous every step of the way. They have their own people to match the code. The only risk is the occasional body search, but that's okay. The security guards would be tipped off in advance, but it doesn't take long. Their extravagant lifestyle caught the attention of federal investigators. The next day, the investigators came to the bank. He confronted the director with photos of the men's extravagant lifestyle, but the director didn't agree with the story. He believed the bank's security system was impeccable. That night, the housekeeper's husband discovered they were now being watched. A few people discussed the situation, decided to destroy the evidence overnight. Soon the investigation team arrived. Several people were arrested, and in the meantime, the housekeeper slipped out the back door with a bag of money. After a night of interrogation, Mei took the blame for everything, on the condition that Lily is released without charge, because he still had 2 children. And that's when the cleaning lady brought in a lawyer, because the investigation team had no evidence at all to prove the money had been stolen from the bank, and the bank president knew they were stealing the money, but didn't dare to admit it, because he couldn't afford to do so, and so they were acquitted. But the money was confiscated from them. Once again, they were left poor. 6 months later, the janitor took them both. They came to a bar, in a plastic bag on the counter. Once again, a large amount of old money was taken out. It turned out that the housekeeper had known that they would be exposed one day, so each time they got their hands on it, they would secretly take some of it. In the bar where they often come, looking at the room full of banknotes, the 3 women were so excited that they hugged each other.